Welcome to Pod Applaud, the Monday through Friday podcast that aims to enable your podcast habit. I'm your host, Seb, and today we are going to talk about Gimlet's podcast, Conviction. Conviction is an investigative true crime podcast that looks into the balance of law and lawlessness in the Bronx area of New York. The show's first season has been completed with 7 episodes that are between 35 and 45 minutes long. The show has explicit content, so listening discretion is advised. The show has a relatively informative description, so I will share that now. Manuel Gomez is a detective straight out of a detective novel. He carries a pen that's a knife, wears a watch that's really a camera, adores Sherlock Holmes in Miami Vice. But the cases Gomez takes on are all too real. Cases of young men in New York City who say they've been arrested for crimes they didn't commit. In the first season of Conviction, reporter Saki Nafo follows Gomez as he tackles the biggest case of his career, and along the way, Saki explores big questions about criminal justice in America. I really like this description, partially because it's very informative, and partially because it seems like it's half dating profile. For me, Conviction falls in a weird place among investigative podcasts. Everything is here to make the show extremely compelling, among the best investigative shows. We have lots of interviews, on the scene reporting, and a delivery that puts you right in the middle of the action. The only thing is, the ending of the show has a bit of a disconnect from the beginning of the show. We are kind of made to believe one thing, and then at the end there's a bit of a twist, but it's a little contrived. I don't want to spoil anything, but be aware, for me the show ending was a little weak. I had a similar problem with the first season of Serial. The drama was built up to make the show a real mystery, but then at the end of the show it feels almost so black and white that you wonder how they even made the tale seem so contestable. At the end of the day, the show is a really interesting character study of Manuel Gomez. Although the show was likely named Conviction in regards to the law-related definition, well, it definitely was because there's going to be other seasons. Gomez is the living definition of having conviction. The guy is really a character. He almost seems like he is out of time and place, truly unreal in his overconfidence and self-belief. Our reporter, Saki, takes the back seat, following along, recording, questioning Gomez, and a few of the other people involved in the drama. His reporting is solid. I do think he could have asked some more hard-hitting questions. Either he had to throw softballs in a lot of situations to earn trust and cooperation, or the questions that made things more clear were cut from the show to fill the plot with more intrigue and a little bit of obscurity. I liked the pace of the show, that we got to hear from a wide array of real people, and the raw insight we get into the relationship between people in the Bronx, law enforcement, and the legal system. So, with that in mind, here on Pod Applaud, I rate shows on a 1 to 5 scale. 1 is silence, 2 is a slow clap, 3 is applause, 4 is a round of applause, and 5, of course, is a standing ovation. I want to give Conviction a 4, a round of applause. Listening to the show, most of the way it was a 5 out of 5 for me, but the ending fell short. I would recommend that most people interested in true crime and investigation podcasts listen to this show. If that's not your jam, if you would like to get some insight into how people can be trapped into the legal system, it's very helpful for that too. That's been the show for today. I hope you found it valuable. If you wish to reach out to me, you can find me on Twitter at podapplaud, or send an email to podapplaud@gmail.com. Thank you for listening, and please tune in again.